Hey Cannonball friends, Kevin Nazer here, number 97. Putting together a quick video, bring you all up to date on where I'm at, getting ready for the 2020 Cannonball. So hang on, let's go out to shop, take a look. All right, so here's Patience, number 97. A couple obvious things, obviously the engine's out still. Yes, I'm behind the curve, front wheels off. So new tire on the back, okay. Bearings in the drive side of the rear hub were in bad shape, so they got replaced. I think I got over here. Yeah, here you go. So yeah, you can see there. Felt good and tight, but there were some problems. So new cup, new cone, new balls in there, and this fancy John Deere grease that Mike Ball and some guys, I think Numo uses it, so taking their advice on that. Sure, it's good advice. Okay, front wheel is off. I've yet to check the brake and bearings, all that. Tire's good. This tire has 2 Cannonballs on it, about 8,000 miles total probably. Still going strong, so it's staying. Forks are coming off. I've got some wear in the steering head bearings, a little bit of looseness, so we'll take that off and see what's going on there and take care of it. New horn, tell me how you like this. All right, cool. So that'll all happen, front end will go back together. Okay, engine. I had lost some threads in the drain plug hole. You know, I drain the oil every time I stop for gas, and I was down to about 2 threads, so I put an insert in there. Also, these 2 studs right here are for the they hold the primary chain cover on. The bottom one was broken, so I remedied that, have a new one in there. Otherwise, bottom end's looking good, nothing to be done over here. Clean it up, put it back together. Now, some of you remember I had seized a cylinder in the 2016 Cannonball. It turned out to be, this is a different cylinder, but just to illustrate, there was a crack in that cylinder between these 2 holes. Just a little 1/8 inch long crack across here, down into the combustion chamber. This is actually the combustion chamber of the cylinder. So when the valve covers are in, right, these are the valve covers they thread in. That one for the intake side, this one for the exhaust. Spark plug goes here. When that's all threaded in, there's barely a gap here. But I'll tell you, when that cylinder got hot, it opened up enough that it would suck through there. It would suck air through there. And that cylinder ran lean and hot, and it seized. It ran fine when it was cool, but when I was climbing a mountain one day, it got hot. Piston stuck to the cylinder, lost some aluminum, and I had to ride the bus that day. At night, I got it broke loose, oiled it up, got the engine running, ran it that way for 2,000 miles. As you can see, it was pretty hard on the piston, but it ran 2,000 miles. This is the rear cylinder piston. You can see much better condition there because it didn't have a problem. So what I did to keep it running is I richened the carburetor so that the front cylinder would run cool enough, and put a hotter plug in the rear cylinder so that it wouldn't foul because of the rich mixture, and that was enough to run me 2,000 miles. All right, discuss that. So this time, different cylinders. They have been nickel plated in the bores, so a hard nickel plating. I don't know if you can see it, but they're really pretty bores. Right, it's a hard thing to do because they're a blind hole cylinder. There's no removable head, but I got them to do it. There is a cross hatch. I don't know if you can see it with the camera, but they have to use a diamond hone to hone those. So they're very nice bore. These are my pistons. This is my 3rd iteration on Power Plus pistons. So the first pistons were just, you can kind of see here on my sketch, right? This is the cylinder around here. This is the combustion chamber. So my first pistons were just same dimensions as the stock cast iron piston that were just made out of aluminum. Second time around, which was 18, I increased the compression height, increased the compression ratio a little, and then this time I put a dome on to increase it a little more, and then I offset the pin a little bit. So I worked with Carillo to get those made. They made those for me to my specifications. That's what they look like. So we're gonna give those a try this time. Also went back to clips. I had used buttons last time. Didn't like them. Left a mark on the cylinder, so I won't do that again. But looking forward to getting that all together, and she's gonna run good. Okay, that's that. Now, on my luggage, pretty much complete change of philosophy here. Going 2 leather saddlebags, and this here, can you see that? Combination fuel can toolbox, right? Is this cool or what? I found this in an antique store, but it holds a gallon and a half of fuel in the top. You lift the fuel can off, there's your tools, all right? So that'll all be strapped down on the rack, okay? Headlight, wanted to have an honest to God headlight, okay? We don't ride at night during the Cannonball, but you know, sometimes you get caught and you want to be able to turn the light on. So I took this old brass acetylene headlight and I mounted an H4 bucket in it. This is a bucket that's made by Hella that is made to fit in place of a 7-inch seal beam, but it uses an H4 bulb. Okay, so you got a replaceable bulb in in a seal beam type bucket, which that wasn't, but I made it work. So I will run an LED H4 bulb with some kind of battery. I'm experimenting with, all right, that'll burn your eyeballs out. I'm experimenting with an 18-volt Milwaukee and a 12-volt Milwaukee. The LED bulbs are rated for 12 to 24 volts, so either one should work, but probably go with the 18-volt. So these are repop battery boxes that are made for a 1917 Indian, okay? So they mount on this bracket, right? This thing goes through here like that, right? It'll clamp together, and then it needs a spacer in between the width of this tube, so that's a 1-inch tube. So I'm gonna use a piece of this 1-inch G10 material, micarta, whatever you want to call it. Make a spacer for in there. These battery boxes will mount with their 4 bolts, right? The little socket for the battery mounts in there, just like on a tool. Probably have a battery. If I use the 18 volts, I'll have a battery in each side. If I use the 12 volts, I'll probably have 2 batteries in each side. So that's what's going on with Patience. Thanks for watching. If you got any questions, hit me in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to me on Instagram. My plan this time in 2020 is I'll put up daily videos and photographs on the Instagram, okay, and then on my YouTube channel I'll put the refined edited videos later on after I get them done. So hit me on Instagram, hit me on YouTube, and I'll try to keep you up to date. Thanks for watching.